A lot of the discussion surrounding Warriors Lakers have been about Steph versus LeBron. Steph has the most to gain. LeBron's legacy really only changes with the title. But is the person who with the most to lose in the series Kevin Durant? Looks like KD is about to fail with yet another super team. While LeBron and Steph are still competing for titles with good but not great teams, who do you think has the most to lose?
Well, listen, I don't consider the Suns a super team. But here's what I do think. And this is a good lesson for superstars across the league. The team hopping, build a super team path really only works for LeBron. So LeBron went to Miami and they won. He then went to Cleveland and they traded for Kevin Love and they won. He then went to the Lakers, who hadn't made the playoffs in 6 years, and they traded for Anthony Davis and they won. Other guys have tried this. None of them have succeeded. We'll get to Durant in a moment. You might be like, oh, well, Durant went to the Warriors. Different. Durant went to a team that had already won a championship, was added to it, and they won more championships. That's not the same. That is not what LeBron did. That is not what anyone had done. But we have seen Durant then go to Brooklyn, try to build it up. Kyrie go to Brooklyn, try to build it up. Doesn't work. Kyrie go to Dallas, try to build it up. Hasn't worked. Durant go to Phoenix. Doesn't look like it's going to work. Kawhi and Paul George go to the Clippers. Has not worked. We have seen now who has won. Giannis stayed, built, champion. Steph stayed, built, champion. Dirk, Duncan, Kobe, all those guys. Now you can say Kawhi with the Raptors, a little different situation. That was not trying to build some super team. That was a team that had been competing at a very high level, needed one last piece, brought in Kawhi, they won. The idea that other guys can do what LeBron has done is foolish. No one has been able to do it. Nobody. People have tried. It has not worked for anyone but LeBron. That it create a team out of thin air through your own gravity and greatness. He's the only one who's been able to do it. The stick with the team, bring in other pieces to complement what I do, that has worked. It's what Denver is trying right now. We'll see if it works. It's what Boston is trying right now. They've come very close. It's what Philly is trying right now. Build around Embiid, draft Maxey, do these things, bring in Harden as a last piece. The get on my back, let's build a super team thing has worked for one guy only, LeBron. And he's done it in 3 places, so people think that it's easy. It's not. Now, for Durant, he needs to be better. This is not a super team. This is not a deep team. We'll get to the Chris Paul injury in a moment. Here is what Durant, though, does need. He can't get swept back-to-back years, prior to the conference finals. I understand Shaq got swept 4 out of 5 years of his career, but they weren't round 1 sweeps, and they weren't when he was already apex prime Shaq. If people don't remember what I'm talking about, Shaq, I mentioned this on TV yesterday, I think. Shaq in 95 made the finals and got swept by Hakeem. In 96, made the conference finals and got swept by Jordan. In 98, made the conference finals and got swept by Utah. And then in 99, made the semifinals and got swept by Duncan and Robinson. That is not the same as being swept in round 1 and then in round 2. So the Nuggets are better than the Suns. The Nuggets are deeper than the Suns. The Nuggets are healthier than the Suns. The Nuggets can win that series, and that is not an indictment on Durant. But Durant cannot, absolutely cannot get swept in round 2 in the West after being swept in round 1 in the East. And also, by the way, I forgot 21-year-old Shaq got swept in round 1, but that was his third year in the league, I think, by Indiana, and the very next year they made the finals. So that's what's on Durant. Can't get swept. Have an over my dead body game, kick ass tomorrow night, and do that, and you're feeling better about where you're at. Little pressure on Denver for game 4.
Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.